Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prodigy channel. And in this video, we have yet another trade review for you guys. This is going to be a dynasty trade. And in these videos, I just break down some of the trades that I make in my actual real life Dynasty Fantasy Football League. So I made this trade a while ago. This was on April 14th, 2022. I wanted to wait for the rookie draft to come and go, see what the quarterback situation was for some players involved in this trade. And now I feel pretty comfortable making this video and breaking down this trade. So my team is Team Prodigious, and I traded with Flash Gordon's halfway house. So what I gave up was a 2022 first round pick, so the most recent rookie draft, Calvin Ridley, and then a second round pick in 2024. I threw that in because he felt like it wasn't fair unless I threw that in for whatever reason. And then I was going to cut T.Y. Hilton and Blake Jarwin as part of the trade, but I just included them in the trade. So the real meat and potatoes here is Calvin Ridley, the first and the second. And in return, I was able to get the main piece being DJ Moore, wide receiver of the Carolina Panthers. And I also got Tua, quarterback of the Dolphins, and then Chris Carson, running back for the Seattle Seahawks. So the main two pieces here, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore. So Calvin Ridley, he missed a ton of time last season, would that be the 2021 season, with a suspension. Or no, he didn't get suspended at the time. He just took like a leave of absence from football. Some thought it was for mental health stuff. I guess we don't really know what happened. But he was supposed to come back in 2022, continue to be that stud wide receiver. As you can see, sort of his career stats here. He was really he was on a trajectory of kind of having a nice year. You know, this is a player who I traded Clyde Edwards-Helaire for. I can't remember if it was straight up or if there were some other pieces involved, but basically I gave up Clyde Edwards-Helaire sort of really early in his career for Calvin Ridley. And I was like, you know what? I felt like that was a good trade, but turns out Calvin Ridley is going to miss, quote, at least the 2022 season because of some sports gambling issues that he has going on. So the NFL does not allow players to gamble on games. So he did something involving that. And yeah, he's going to miss at least this season. So as a team that considers myself a win now team, I really just wanted to get as much value as I could for Calvin Ridley. Now, this is not me suggesting to trade him for nothing, because right now his value is pretty low. So if you can't get a good deal for him, you might just want to hold on to him but here's the thing. It's like, who's going to give up more than a second round pick for him? Right. But it's like, you probably don't want to get rid of him for a second round pick. If you could get like a first round pick, then you'd probably want to do it for this draft. But for this year's draft, maybe get another, young stud wide receiver in the first round, but no one will probably offer you that. So I kind of had to do a little package deal with draft picks. So I got rid of Calvin Ridley, who actually, for those of you who don't know, he is actually 27 years old. So he's a little older than you might expect. The team I traded him to is kind of a rebuilding team, but he still wanted him, even though he won't really come back until he's, 28 at least. But maybe, once Calvin really has some production, maybe that team can trade him off and try to get some sort of draft capital, some players. We'll see what he does with that. But the main piece I got in return was DJ Moore. And I think we all kind of know the story of DJ Moore at this point in his career. He is a stud. We'll look at DJ Moore's stats here. He's played 4 seasons, and in 16, 15, 15, and 17 games, you can kind of see what he's done. The yardage has been there. The touchdowns just simply have not. And a lot of that is because of the offenses he's been playing on and the quarterback play on his Carolina Panthers team. It's just been abysmal for pretty much his whole career. Sam Darnold is coming back as the projected starter, and we'll see if he can get him the ball, but that's who was throwing him the ball a lot last year among some other iffy options, and nothing really seemed to work. So there's no denying his talent. He's still 25 years old, and if he is ever able to get at least a halfway competent quarterback, his ceiling is very, very high. But even as he stands right now with his horrible quarterback situation, he is going to be a nice option for my team, kind of like a wide receiver 2, maybe even I think it'll be like a wide receiver 2 option for my team. Or that's where I would rank him, as a wide receiver 2 sort of guy. The touchdowns probably won't be there. The yardage should be. And you can kind of see where he finished. I'll move it to half PPR because that's the format of my league. If you look at DJ Moore last year, he finished as the wide receiver 19 in 17 games. So a wide receiver 2 would be anywhere from a 13 to 24 if you're in a 12-man league. If we go back to 2020 and try to find DJ Moore, do I have to like do that? I think. Wait, I have to press go. There we go. DJ Moore. Wide receiver 22 in 15 games. We go back to 2019. So you kind of get the point, right? He's been good, but not great in terms of fantasy production. Wide receiver 18 right there. But a lot of that is because of his quarterback play, not his talent. So this is kind of just someone I'm adding to my squad here. This was his rookie year, so not his best year, but you know, wide receivers usually don't break out their rookie year. So yeah, this is kind of just a guy, someone that I'm going to use on my team as a sort of not a bench option, but someone deeper, like sort of like a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Here's my team if you're interested. We got Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Tom Brady. Then at wide receiver, we got Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Judy, Claypool, Sutton. I do also have Chris Godwin and DeAndre Hopkins. This is a 10-team league, by the way. But Godwin is probably going to miss some time to start the year with the injury. DeAndre Hopkins is suspended, and he's also getting a little old. So I'm hoping once he comes back, he'll at least offer some production, but we'll see. But yeah, those are kind of the two main pieces of the trade. In return, also, I was able to get Tua from the Miami Dolphins. Listen, these are his stats his first couple years, nothing crazy. But I have faith in him to maybe take another step this year. And even if not, you know, I still have Tom Brady. I don't want to have to rely on Matt Ryan or Mitch Trubisky, hopefully. So hopefully Tom Brady is good, but Tua might be a nice quarterback 2 for my team. That's kind of my hope. Nice streaming option for Tom Brady on his bye week, or if for whatever reason he gets hurt or father time caught up with him, if he's not good anymore, I can plug Tua in there. But I'm thinking with the addition of Tyreek Hill to that team, Jalen Waddle in his second year, they have Mike Gesicki there. They added Cedric Wilson. I'm just hoping that, you know, things will work out for Tua this year. And speaking of quarterbacks, I did also forget to mention for DJ Moore, the Panthers did draft Matt Corral in the 3rd round of the rookie draft, and the Falcons drafted Desmond Ridder in the 3rd round of the rookie draft this year as well. So Calvin Ridley and DJ Moore both have 3rd round rookie quarterbacks waiting in the wings. A quarterback drafted in the 3rd round, that's not very high draft capital for a quarterback. This class was a pretty weak class. So it's even possible that these guys were driven up the board because of that lack of options. That someone was just like, eventually, all right, we'll take someone in the 3rd round. So I wouldn't rely on them to step in and supply DJ Moore with elite quarterback production. And then for Calvin Ridley, he also has Marcus Mariota leading the offense this year because the Falcons traded away Matt Ryan. So the quarterback situation is a little iffy for both teams. And then finally, I was able to get Chris Carson in return. This was not something that, like, I didn't accept this trade because of Chris Carson. He was just someone that was included. You know, obviously he's had a nice couple years when he's healthy, but injuries have kind of derailed his career lately. He just had a neck injury. I believe he had neck surgery, and there's some question as to whether he's going to play again. So we'll have to see how it goes for him, man. I mean, if he comes back, even if he's healthy, they still have Rashad Penny, and they drafted Walker in the rookie draft, a running back, Kenneth Walker. So even if he comes back healthy, it's going to be a committee. I'm not really relying on him for anything crazy production-wise, but if he comes back, that committee will just even be more of a mess. Then also, before we end this video, this 1st-round pick ended up being Chris Olave, wide receiver of the Saints. So you can kind of swap out that 1st-round pick for Olave. When you look at it from that perspective, I probably gave up a little too much. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, DJ Moore is going to be the most impactful player this year. And also having Tua as a backup quarterback. I also do have Trevor Lawrence on my team, so I'm hoping he can step up. He's on my taxi squad still, but I need someone to back up Tom Brady just in case. You never know what can happen. But value-wise, he got quite a bit of value once Calvin Ridley returns. If he returns, he'll have a lot of value. Chris Olave is a big piece. I expect him to be pretty good. He kind of fell a pick or two in the draft, in a rookie draft. So I didn't necessarily think I'd be able to get a player of that caliber with that pick, but that's what happened. And yeah, that's pretty much the overall summary of this trade. Also interesting to know, just in case you're curious, he originally came to me with an offer of me giving him a 4th overall pick in the draft. So there's a couple things to say there. This Flea Flicker website is kind of glitchy. So I didn't even have the 4th overall pick. For whatever reason, it just listed that I did. So he thought I had it. So he would have given me this same exact thing for my 4th overall pick. But I accepted it. But then, I'm a man of integrity. I'm the commissioner as well. So I felt, what, I should be honest here. I was like, listen, I have the 9th pick. I don't know if you knew that, but just so you know, that's what's going on here. He's like, oh, okay, well, let's just work out a new trade. So I undid the trade. And then he had me add a 2nd round pick and Calvin Ridley. I felt like that was a little steep for just moving back 5 spots, especially in this year's draft where, you got Breece Hall, pretty much a consensus 101, especially if you need a running back. Then after that, there's just a slew of like wide receivers who all have potential to be great, anywhere from pick 102 to even the end of the 1st round into the 2nd round. So I thought that was weird. I still liked the trade for me, but I really liked that pick if I had the first. I really liked the trade if I did have the 4th overall pick and was able to give that up, get DJ Moore, get Tua, get the remnants of Chris Carson, and hoping he can do something. Not counting on it. I like that trade, but this is what the trade ended up being. So I think we've covered this enough. Long story short, I was fine getting rid of Calvin Ridley because I consider myself a contender. I've gotten 2nd place in 2 years. This is either the 4th or 5th year of the league, something like that. So we've been right there. And DJ Moore is someone that I'm going to rely on, especially with the Godwin injury, especially with the Hopkins suspension. And once those guys come back, I'm hoping and praying that, the team will finally win it all. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more trade review videos and other sorts of fantasy football content. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.